Today's show is pre-recorded.
Y'all know what time it is. Y'all don't know, y'all better ask somebody. Hat on, suit on, looking like the Dapper Dawn, giving them all dressed like $1,000,000, diamond things in its cuffs. Y'all tell me who could it be but Steve Harvey? Yeah, listening to me. Put your hands together for Steve Harvey. Put your hands together. Why don't you join me? Yeah. Steve Harvey got to turn them out. Got to turn them out. Harvey turn them on in the morning, y'all. Come on, Steve. Come on. Do your thing, Big Daddy.
I sure will. Good morning, everybody. Y'all listening to The Voice. Come on, dig me now. One and only Steve Harvey. Got a radio show. Today, folks, I just want to dive right in because I think I got it. Here it is. Did you know that there is a life for you that's greater than you could have ever dreamed of? Did you know that there's a life for you better than the one you've ever felt before? And did you know that there was a life for you much bigger than the one you wanted? And lastly, did you know that what I just said is true? Did you know that? Did you know that the things I just said are available to you? It's not just intended for those who receive awards. It's for everybody. Yeah, you too. It's for you who didn't get your high school diploma. It's for you who are incarcerated. It's for you who have 2 strikes. It's for you who've been sentenced to life. It's for you who've gotten out and have a felony record and can't seem to get it together. It's for you who have an illness. It's for you who the doctors have given up on. It's for you. This life I'm talking about is for you. Did you know that there's a life for you better than the one you dreamed about, better than the one you've imagined, a life better than the one you thought of, that there's a life for you better than the one you've ever felt before? There's a life for you better than the one you saw for yourself. There's a better life for you than the one you expected and even the one you wanted. Did you know that this is true for you? See, here's let me give you the secret to this thing now. You have to believe that it is for you. Now, you got to fight through the doubts. You got to fight through the will of Satan because the devil is busy, man. The devil wants you to think that it's hopeless. The devil wants you to think that this is it. The devil wants you to think there ain't no more to it. The devil wants you to think that this applies to other people but you. Yeah, you've been dealt the worst hand of them all, which you ain't, but that's what the devil wants you to think. So you got to fight through now. You got to fight through to get to what I just said is available for you. But what else you got to do? You ain't doing nothing else. Might as well fight. Why just wake up and just let it be? Why would you wake up every day and just exist when there's a chance for you to actually live? See, the reason I don't mind smiling so much now is because I'm no longer existing. I'm living now. See, that's what you want to get to. You don't want to exist to wake up paycheck to paycheck, day to day, not knowing, not understanding, not having, can't get this, can't get that, can't go here, can't go there. Gotta wait till it seems like you never get nowhere. You can get out of that rut of life feeling like when you wake up in the morning that your life is ho-hum, that you're just in a rut. I drive the same way to work. I do the same thing on my job. When I get off, I drive all the way back home. I sit there. I read the newspaper. I water the lawn. I'm so sick of my life. This ain't what I wanted, man. And wake up, start over, do the same thing. Then the weekend gets here and you got to mow the lawn, and then you try to fix something in the garage and you feel like your life is in a rut. I'm talking about if this feels like a rut to you. And if it's what you've always wanted, I'm cool with that. But I'm talking to people who want it more, who would love their life to be more, who would love their life to be different. I'm not criticizing you if I just described your life. I'm just only talking to the ones who would dare to believe that there's more to it than this. I'm only talking to the ones who would dare to accept the challenge, to fight through and see what God got for you instead of listening to Satan all the time. The devil is busy, man. Please understand, he's so busy. So busy trying to trick you, get you into the groove. You know, they doing all kind of stuff now, man. You know, atheists and already got prayer taken out of schools. Look at our schools. Now there's a push by the atheists to get the words "in God we trust" taken off our money. Here's the deal. If you don't believe in God and you don't want to trust in God, just go on about your business. But what you can't do is spill off all into what I'm talking about. That's the problem I have with all of them. If you're going to do you, then do you. But don't spill off into what I got. Now, see, if you don't believe what I'm saying, then I ain't talking to you. Let's just be clear about the relationship with Steve Harvey and his crew. I'm only talking to the people that believe, that are looking for something else, that want something more, that want something better. That's got to be out there searching and hoping and trying to do more. That's all I'm talking to. Now, if you don't believe what I'm saying is true, then go ahead, try it your way. Go see, write me, email me, let me know how it's going for you. But I'm telling you of a way that's tried and true. If you go to God, if you go to your creator, your maker, if you go to him and you go to him for real and tell him, hey, you know what? I want you to go ahead and take over from here. I'm done. I done all I know how to do. I done tried everything I know how to try. I'm sick of me right now. Hey, look here. You created me. What you want me to do? And here's the cool thing about it when I made that decision, y'all. See, I was so afraid for years that I was going to miss out on something if I did that. I couldn't do this no more. But the stuff I needed to stop doing, I really need to stop. The things I was afraid of not being able to do anymore were the very same things I really didn't need to be doing no more in the first place. On the real, man. On the real. All that temporary fun I was having. All them temporary outlets I was using. All them temporary things trying to fulfill myself I was doing. I was just doing a bunch of temporary mess, man. I said, hold up, man. I want something permanent, man. I want a permanent feeling in my heart that it's going to be all right. So he replaced all that fun with joy. But it was only because I went and I faced him. He didn't take me and stop me from being me. He just made a better version of me. See, God don't because all the stuff he sent you through, he needed you to go through all them. He needed you to have them experience of what it felt like to be locked up. He needed you to have that experience to know what it was to lose everything. He needed you to have that experience to make you tough. You're just going to be a tough one. I'm a tough soldier in his army. That's all. I just ain't one of the weak ones. I protect the weak ones. God didn't take a lot of stuff from me except the stuff I needed. But the stuff he made me to be, he allowed me to keep it. And he just made a better me. Do that, y'all, and you can have what you want.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Hey, listen, everybody. It's your man, Steve Harvey, and today I've been talking about it all along, but it's International Women's Day, and the ladies of the show, the women, they're taking over the mic, and I just want to say about the ladies, Shirley, Carla, Mississippi Monica, Cheryl, y'all do your thing, ladies. Don't hold back. Enjoy yourself. You know, I have my blessings on this. I thought it was a great idea. I appreciate all y'all do for me throughout the year, and now this is your day to shine, have fun. You know, have some ladies moments. Just do you, you know. I'm going to go on over here and smoke a cigar and listen to the show.
All right, thank you, Steve. That's right. The ladies are taking over today. It is International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day. All morning long, the women take over the mic. Yours truly, Shirley Strawberry. Carla Ferrell is here, of course, Sheryl Underwood. And Mississippi Monica, you don't hear anything about her, right? But we're going to let you in on Mississippi Monica today. Carla, good morning. Happy International Women's Day to you. My girl, my road dog. What's going on?
What's happening through the Zoom? Let's give each other a pound. What's happening? International Women's Day. And we got our girls in here this morning. We're going to be kicking it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We got to have our girl, Sheryl Underwood. Didn't want to do it without you, Cheryl. What is going on? Happy International Women's Day to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you, the iconic Shirley Strawberry.
Not the icon.
The iconic. The phenomenal
you,
Carla Ferrell. But I got to throw it up on my sorrows and say it if I made it. That's right, I made it. I'm on this. Okay, sorry.
And ladies, please give a warm welcome to our girl. She is our executive producer. She's always behind the scenes, but we're going to bring her out today because she has so much to add, and we love her. Mississippi Monica.
Yay.
Good morning. Happy International Women's Day.
Girl power.
Hey, girl power.
Morning,
Girl
ladies.
power.
Pound.
That's right.
Welcome. So, ladies, this is our day. We have taken over the show. We're going to talk about what it's like growing up in America as little black girls, okay? How about that? How we continue to support and uplift women. You know, we don't want to get into the hateration game. We're not about that. We're about
That's not what this day is about at all.
Empowering women,
Yes.
all of that. Not at all, right? Not at all.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
you know, and just, you know, navigating social media, all of that. Quick story, I have to tell you, I love all of these women. I think when we all met, it was pretty much instant. You know, talk about a sisterhood. Wouldn't you all agree to that? Cheryl, I've known you, I think, the longest. And when we met, it was instant.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
was.
instant. I came to one of your shows and we met backstage, and it was instant. And we've been friends ever since. That may have been in the 80s.
Yes.
Carla, same with you. I met you through radio. Instant.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's a sisterhood.
It's a
definitely.
sisterhood. Monica, same with you. I mean, we met through a mutual friend, but it was like our spirits met, you know, just like that. And we all have kind of like similar stories. Yeah. We'll tell you more about that, how we got together and all of that. But coming up at 32 minutes after the hour, Sheryl Underwood is here for Ask the CLO, Chief Love Officer. Happy International Women's Day. We'll be right back with the CLO, Sheryl Underwood, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, listen. We said Ask the CLO, but we are taking over today, right?
right.
So we're going to
Yes.
change it. It's simply going to be Ask Sheryl. We like
Ooh,
that on
you about to
International
ask
Women's
Cheryl?
Day.
That's right.
Ask Sheryl.
That's right. It's all about us. It's all about us. But I'll take a cosign now. I might not know the right answer, so I'll take a cosign, especially from my Delta server, Mississippi Monica. Look at all the Deltas. Phone line blowing up. All the Deltas.
Cheryl, just answer from your heart. I know
will
you
answer from
will.
my heart.
I know you will. All right. Here we go. This is going to be funny. All right. This one, Cheryl, is from YE in Shreveport, Louisiana. YE says, I'm dating a woman that says she's not dating anyone else, but she hangs out with mostly men.
Right.
There are 3 guys in particular that are always at her house. I've been around them, and they like to say that my girlfriend is like one of the boys. I'm old school, so I told her that I don't like it. I need to be the only man in her house. house. She sees nothing wrong with it. So I'm thinking about having some of my female friends from church come by my house while she's there. Do you think that will get her attention?
No, that's gonna get everybody ass whooped. Sorry, was I not supposed to say that?
Not everybody in the building.
Oh no, you bring them girls from church over.
The church ladies, Cheryl.
Yeah, they gonna get squabbed on. Cause these dudes I ain't messing with. But them girls over there, like, am I wrong, ladies? Because first of all,
I love it.
He need to listen to Backstabbers by the OJs. Listen to the lyrics. He breaks it down. All you fellas that have someone that you really care, then it's all of you fellas who better be well. But I'm also a woman who hangs out with a lot of men. I work with a lot of men. I am even friends with women who have that duality, a male side of their personality. So I know what type of personality dynamic I'm with. I would say this: if he has not sat down and spoken to her about his concerns, that's what you have to do as a man. Don't put your foot down, because as soon as you put your foot down, I'm say, who you talking to? I'm going to get my birth certificate, show you your name is not on my birth certificate.
As your daddy.
Right. I know who my daddy is, and it's not you. But I could see how men feel that all of these men, and they're at your house. That's the part that would bother me.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Are they dating or are they married? Clarify that for me one more time.
He's dating. They're dating.
But they're pursuant to marriage.
Well, he didn't say that, but it may, because he feels the way he feels, it may head that in that direction. But right now, he's calling her his girlfriend, and they're dating.
Well, if he has not made his issue to me that is an issue, but first of all, I pay the mortgage. My name. I can invite anybody I want to up here. You know, you ain't paying
all day, every day.
Aon mortgage. You ain't pay Aon mortgage.
Right.
But if my man had a concern and he came to me with manhood and perseverance,
the right way.
Did I say it right, Monica? If he come to me with that manhood and talk to me and say, baby, I know these are your friends, but your friends are always here. And a man has instincts as well. Am I wrong, Carla Ferrell? Men have instincts as well, and they can see what's happening. Yes.
We as human beings, our instincts, for sure.
Yeah, I got
men and women. Yeah.
I got a good story to tell you off the air because I don't have enough time. And this is a real story. When I first got married and I made a plate for another man because I don't. Oh yeah. Look at Shirley. Look on Shirley.
What?
How much time we got? Because I don't even know if I can start.
Cheryl.
Oh, you got? Okay, hold on.
We have other questions, but if you want to do
your
story,
no.
go ahead.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell it real quick. In my family, I don't eat before a man eat, and men don't fix their own plate. So there were men who were guests in the house, and I fixed the plate, and I sat the plate down for the person, and my husband looked at me like it was gonna be Ike and Tina when they left.
I was just trying to help you, Ike.
There it is, right there, Shirley Strawberry. So I know how they would feel.
Cheryl?
Well, I never really knew the dude was trying to throw me some rhythm.
She got her wig snatched off. Go ahead.
Oh no, you ain't snatching no wig off. Now listen, I'm all the way from Arkansas. I'm an Underwood switchblade in my bosom. That's not happening.
Okay.
That is not happening. A Mississippi, and can I get a Mississippi cosign? But what is the next question? All
right, this is from Samantha in Pittsburgh. Samantha says, my brother has been mad at my mother since she got remarried, and her new husband told him it was time to move out. It was like on the movie Baby Boy when Jody got put out. My brother is 31 and living with my mama because he spends his money on cars, clothes, and women. I support my mama's and stepdad's decision, but I want them to make up so we can be one big happy family. How can I get them to squash it?
Well, first of all, where do this brother live? Because there might be some jealousy that you are your other brother's living rent free. Am I close, Carla Ferrell? But also,
you own it.
The husband now, if their mother has allowed him to become head of the household, then you have to respect their wishes, but they should have come to this together. You don't separate me from my children because I married you. I gave birth to them. You know, there's a different situation. But if my sons, if I had sons, my sons would be living in the house because as soon as you pop funky,
at 31, They still be there at 31?
Yep, mowing the lawn, doing everything. Because in case my
That's
new
a
husband
visit.
pop off, hoo-dee-hoo, my son's better come out that
the
second
call.
house,
Hoo-dee-hoo.
that second bedroom. This Negro is not your daddy. Handle it. Handle it. He is not your daddy. Did you see how he corrected me? Yeah. Did you see how he corrected me? I'm gonna have to get back with your father, whoever he is. I'm gonna have to get back with your father, whoever he is.
Whoever he is.
If I can figure that out. The who nanny was jumping that night. It was jumping that night.
Ignorant.
The hole in the wall. You better know it. You better know.
Now you see why we had to have Cheryl on the show today.
Yes.
You get it now. You get it now. 31 though, Cheryl. Oh no, that's a little old though, girl. That's a little old to be still living with your mama.
Oh, if my baby is 75 and I'm a 95, you're still living it out.
All right, listen. Coming up next, we're going to talk about success. Success, all right after this on this International Women's Day.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Happy International Women's Day. I love saying that because, you know, it's all about women today. It's all about women. We need to honor, love, support, empower women. Yes, we do. And recognize them. You know, I mean, we need our sisters. We need each other. You know how it goes. Coming up at the top of the hour, Miss Ann is standing by, another empowered woman on this International Women's Day. Well, the Senate passes President Biden's American Rescue Plan. Plus, and entertainment news, Carla's going to have some music news for us. We'll also talk about Coming to America with Eddie and Arsenio. I love this movie. I loved it. And trending right now. Yeah, I loved it. Trending right now, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle with their interview with Oprah. Now, our special guest, she's not really a guest, but we had to bring her in, especially today, because we love her so much, and we don't want to do the show without her. The one and only Sheryl Underwood is here. Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you.
We know you're
Yay,
very,
Cheryl.
very busy, so we appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. We're going to talk about all of these stories at the top of the hour. But right now, like I said, it is International Women's Day. Let's just have kind of a girl power talk about sex, you guys. I mean, success.
Oh, sorry.
You meant sex. You knew what you meant.
Right.
Sex, Shirley.
Yeah.
Let's talk about sex.
Okay.
Well, if your sex is good, then, hey, you'll be successful, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, yes. All right. So, ladies, what do you think is the key to success? The success, and we're talking about the success you have right now, and you've experienced, Cheryl.
Oh, me. Well,
Start
you
with
know
you,
what?
yeah.
I really want to talk about, even though we were joking, with things that are going on where women are being approached or sometimes even manipulated in certain things. I'm going to tell you a little story.
Okay.
In my comedy
You mean like
career,
sexual harassment you're talking about?
I wouldn't even say
Kinda.
sexual harassment. I think that
What?
the men, you know, we had a thing in the comedy game where, you know, how you going to go on tour, especially as a female comic, you know, and they don't do a lot of female tours and things like that. It wasn't really happening like that. So you would get approached by dudes that were like, hey, you holler at me, I could change your life, or you're going to get it, you know, your career going to bump up. So I tell this story. So I'm very naive. And if I'm not wearing my glasses, I don't know who I'm talking to. So this guy started talking to me after I did a set, right? I did my show. And he was like, so what are you doing after this? I said, I'm going to the bar. Like I always hang out. Woo, right? And so he said, well, why don't we get together? I said, to do what? And he was like, you know, to do some things. I said, oh. And he was like, if you get with me, I can advance your career. I said, well, first of all, if I get with you, why am I still working?
Yeah.
Oh. Right. Why am I still
And there
working?
you
If you
have
all
it.
that, if you all that, and why am I still working? And I don't think men like to be approached by a woman that flips the game on them. That's how we used to say back in the day. So I didn't. I was just saying. I said to the man, I said, "Who are you?" And he said who he was. I knew the name from very much successful, but I couldn't connect the face with the person. You know, Carla.
Wait a minute. So was someone famous? Like
somebody really, really big and powerful, but I knew the name, but I couldn't connect it with the person. So I said, which he would, you know, Monica, if somebody come toward me, then I'm like, wow, I'm fascinated by that, but I'm all about my money and all about my grind, and I'm all about how I'm a boss alone on myself. So I said to the man, why don't you wait until we're equals? And then we could truly make love. And he didn't like that.
He walked away.
He didn't see you as ever being his equal.
Right. He saw me as I'm supposed to be the wildflower, the this, the that. And I'm saying all of this to say, of everything that I've done, I always try to get me a fairy godfather and a fairy godmother. But then I've also tried to say, what does God really want me to do? Because sometimes I stumble. You know, if you send a DeBarge toward me, I'm going to stumble. Oh, no, but you send El DeBarge toward me, I'm going to stumble. It's just
But
right.
I mean, we all fall short,
But
Cheryl.
my business.
We all fall short. I understand what you're saying where that is concerned.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my weakness. If you are an El DeBarge type, but for my business,
curly hair.
Yes, for my business, I'm kind of different in my business, and a lot of men and women can't take that. And we have to be careful of our stridency and our power that someone does not understand. And I'm saying this, I'm throwing it out to you ladies too. It ain't just men that'll challenge you and try you. Sometimes it's the woman that don't understand you was meant to be this boss here, and I'm here to help you. Am I right, Carla Ferrell? Speak on it.
Absolutely.
You better absolutely speak on it, Cheryl. I think, too, as women, I think, you know, for me, watching our generations in the past, our mother, our grandmother, we watched them do it all. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how I grew up, you know, and our ancestors. So I think that for me, the pressure there was no pressure from them, but I put the pressure on myself to not be a disappointment. I had to succeed. You know, I watched my grandmother work 2 jobs. She was a nurse. She would come in. I would wash her uniforms for her and hang them up to dry and iron them, and I would polish her shoes. And Shirley knows to this day I will not wear white shoes if I don't have to.
That's right.
Because I had to polish her shoes because she was a nurse, and watching my mother. So for me, that was my drive. That was my push for me to be successful. And now that I am a mother, you know, now that I'm a mother,
you
I
have
want
to be
my
an example.
daughter.
Right.
Exactly. I want to lead by example and want her to follow her dreams. You know, when I was little growing up, quickly, and I'll let, you know, Monica jump in as well. Growing up, listening to radio, that was my thing. I listened to radio all the time. I was a little girl in Chicago listening to radio. That's all I wanted to do.
Best radio.
Yes, and my mother would take me to the record stores on the north side, you know, and buy records, and on the south side, and, you know, all of these things that I wanted. So this is a passion of mine, working in radio. I always knew that I would do this. Yeah. So this success it's here for me, you know, whatever level it is in my job, but I'm doing what I love. But go ahead, Shirley.
But go ahead. I do want to hear from Monica, because, you know, this is your chance, Monica. We don't hear from you that much, and you didn't start off wanting to be in radio. You know, that wasn't
good
success
point.
for you. You didn't. Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely. I mean, it was just, I met Shirley Strawberry. I was friends with the producer at the time, and God took over the rest. So basically, starting out, I'm from Mississippi, and my grandmother had 12 children. My mother's the oldest of 12. So I have 8 aunts and 4 uncles. And I just always watched my aunts and uncles excel. And basically, my aunts were bad. They were bosses from the beginning. My grandmother had 12 children. She never worked. She took care of the home. She made homemade biscuits. Because if you think back, my mom's 80, so she was making homemade biscuits every day. And just the work ethic she instilled in her girls, and watching my mother, who stayed at a job for 29 years and eventually became director of placement for Department of Human Services, she never wavered. She never took a day off. She stayed with it. And I just saw that tenacity she had, and she instilled in me, you have to work. Go get up and get it done every day. So
that's right. All right. We're going to continue these conversations all morning. Coming up at the top of the hour, we got some entertainment and national news for you right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, in today's entertainment news, Carla's here with today's music news. What's going on, Carla? What you got?
Well, big announcement. I want everyone to be ready. So today, of course, is International Women's Day. And I want you to check out iHeartRadio presents See Her, Hear Her. This is celebrating women in music. Love it. It'll be a conversation and interviews with Gwen Stefani, Cardi B. It's going to be nice. Tonight, International Women's Day, Monday night on iHeartRadio Facebook page and YouTube, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's it. Get it done. Let's listen in.
We'll be doing it. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Carla. We'll be watching tonight, of course. And in other trending news, did you ladies see Coming to America with Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall?
Yes, I loved it. Did you like it, Shirley?
I freaking loved it. I loved it.
Me too.
I was blown away. I was a little worried at first because there was so many stars in it. I was like, how are they going to fit this all into this movie and make it good? But they did it. Eddie Murphy is a genius on every level. He's a genius on every level. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
Tracy Morgan, Wesley Snipes. Wesley. I
And our
loved it.
favorite producer, Kenya Barris, did
Yes.
Has something to do with it. We love Kenya
Executive
Barris.
produced it, wrote it. Yeah, it was just beautiful. It was great. You're right, Mon. Yeah, I can't wait for
this on the movie. My daughter, she watched it because she didn't see the original Coming to America, so she didn't know the story. So the twist with Tiana Taylor and all of the younger stars and
that's what I
actors,
like.
she enjoyed it. Ooh, that Tiana Taylor.
Tiana was fire. What?
Yes.
So all good.
Yes.
So all good.
But didn't it feel good that there was a movie that we grew up with, that we love? Now we got some of the kids, and then you can watch them both together. And see why we feel what we feel. And shout out to Leslie Jones, your scene stiller.
Baby.
You're making a statement with that. You're making a statement with that.
Yes.
It was so funny. Oh my God, it was so funny. And Randy Watson, thank you.
Yes. Sexy chocolate.
What is this, velvet? It was just so good. Do you know that Eddie Murphy told the story that Oprah did not know that the Jewish guy in the barbershop was Eddie Murphy? She did not know
all
that.
this time.
All this time. She didn't know
Really?
that. Yeah, he's that good. He's a genius. He's a genius. He is a genius.
Eddie, baby. Just Eddie.
Love
And
it,
Arsenio,
love it.
too. Let's give Arsenio some love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Arsenio was great.
Yeah.
Arsenio was great.
But
Also,
we have to give
Wesley.
it to,
Go ahead, Mom.
we have to give it to Sherry Hadley. She looked amazing in the movie.
Yeah.
She
Sherry
was
Hadley
great.
has
Lisa
not aged.
McDowell.
Lisa looked amazing.
Yeah.
She looked great. I loved, well, we can't tell that part, but I loved the James Earl Jones part, the King's part.
Yeah.
I loved his part.
Yeah.
King
Yeah.
Mufasa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It was just
Zumanda forever.
I love the movie. All right, so that was this weekend. Also, did you guys see last night Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the interview with Oprah?
My girl.
Cheryl.
My girl. Did she get it? Listen, she shook him up so hard that the Queen tried to make a statement before it came out.
Yes.
About the pandemic.
Yes,
Sit
too
down,
late.
Queen.
You're
Sit down,
shook.
Sit down.
You're shook by Oprah Winfrey. Only Oprah could shake you like that.
All right, Cheryl, it's time now for our headlines. Please introduce our female boss that does the news for us.
It is my pleasure on this International Women's Day to introduce, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Ann Tripp.
Thank you, guys. Good morning. This is Ann Tripp, yes, on this International Women's Day. Okay, jury selection is scheduled to begin in Minnesota today for the George Floyd murder case. Ex-cop Derek Chauvin currently only faces second-degree murder and manslaughter charges, but a Minnesota appeals court ruled Friday that a third-degree murder charge against Chauvin should not have been dropped by a lower court. We're going to have to see what happens there. If Chauvin appeals, the actual trial could be postponed, so just kind of reserve on that. But all that aside, George Floyd's brother, Philonis, reminds us of the horrific devastation still suffered by the Floyd family.
Blood was coming from his nose, and the officer still sat there on his neck like it was okay. It's never okay to hurt somebody like that. We shouldn't have to go to court for anything like this. We shouldn't have to.
Meanwhile, Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi says the House has passed a police reform bill named after Mr. Floyd.
We're proud of this legislation. It will not erase centuries of systemic racism and excessive policing, and it will not bring back George Floyd. But it will take a tremendous step forward.
And by banning by various forms of chokeholds and federal no-knock drug warrants to ban that stuff that was involved in Breonna Taylor's murder, and reducing the immunity that cops currently get when involved in civilian deaths. On the Hill, the U.S. Senate has passed the Democrats' overall close to $2 trillion coronavirus relief bill, even though the $15 minimum wage part had to be removed in order to get the rest of it okay. The Republicans said it had to be in a different budget bill. That measure now going back to the House of Representatives for final approval before going on to the president for his expected signature. Previously, by the way, the Senate voted against the $15 an hour hike, 58 to 42, with 8 Democrats joining the GOP opposition. However, there is word that most senators might go along with a lower federal wage hike, but on a separate bill. President Biden signed an executive order yesterday aimed at leveraging federal resources to expand access to voting. Yesterday was the 56th anniversary of Bloody Sunday. That's when 600 peaceful protesters marched across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama, for voting rights, but were attacked by violent white state troopers. Finally, poet turned international sensation Amanda Gorman says some white security guard followed her home the other night, demanding to know if she lived in her neighborhood and claiming she looked suspicious. Amanda says once this guy saw her buzz herself into her building, he walked away with no apology. Old folks say that's evil. 22-year-old poetess says this is the reality of black girls. One day you're an icon, the next day a threat. Now back to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, so it is International Women's Day, and we were talking about Chicago radio.
Yes.
And growing up, I was listening to radio in Chicago, and I knew I wanted to do radio. Cheryl, you from the Chi.
Yes.
Monica has lived in Chicago. What did you want to say about radio in Chicago?
Well, definitely, I want to say, first of all, me listening to radio, it was Yvonne Daniels. Also, shout out Bonnie Deshawn. But
yes, Bonnie.
Bonnie Deshawn. Okay. The after work set. I really wanted to be, I make a lot of money with inarticulation in comedy. But who I wanted to speak like was Shirley Strawberry. And I'm not saying this because you're right here. I'm saying it because do you remember when I called you recently and I said, I'd like for you to give me some diction classes. Because I'm getting more and more responsibility. And I just want, when we're talking about women, and especially women in radio, all of us are here because God put us here and we wanted to be here. But we definitely want to be here with you, Shirley Strawberry. It's not written anywhere. I just wanted to give you some love when you talk about women in radio.
Cheryl, thank you. I appreciate that so much. You know, I love you, love you, love you, love you. And talking about Chicago radio, I mean, that's where I guess we all, you know, developed a love for radio, because that's certainly where I learned it. And you mentioned the iconic Yvonne Daniels. Everyone who grew up in Chicago knew about Yvonne Daniels. I had never heard anything like this in my life when I heard that woman's voice on the radio. Now, I sound nothing like her. I did have the pleasure of working with her. We became friendly and chummy, and just, you know, I admired her so much. She was like one of my radio mentors, along with Chili Childs and Wanda Wells. People in Chicago know who I'm talking about. Of course, my girl Bonnie DeShong. We worked together for many years. I don't know, radio just did it for me, and mainly because I loved music so much. I think Carla and I talked about this recently, because we have such a great love for music. I couldn't sing anything like that. Yeah, I finally admitted that I can't sing. I didn't play an instrument. I took trumpet lessons.
About time you admit that.
I finally admit that I can't sing. So what was the other thing that I could do? I could get into radio and play these artists that I loved. That's what made me get into radio. And I used to practice all the time when I have the opportunity to talk to them about radio. And it's not so much about that now, diction and all of that now. But back then it was. I would practice. My mom bought me one of those tape recorders, and, you know, I would read in front of the mirror. That's what I would do. I would read the newspaper or magazines. I would read every day, and I would listen to my voice and perfect my voice. And I took speech elocution classes and theater class, all those kinds of things that you need to get into this. But anyway, I just wanted to say that and thank you, Cheryl.
Well, that's your superpower.
That's your superpower. Shout out to Sybil Wilkes as well.
Sybil, that's
Wilkes.
my girl too.
Sybil
Yes,
Wilkes.
Sybil, that's
Okay.
right. All right, coming up in 34 minutes after the hour, guys, we're going to talk about politics and civil rights as far as women are concerned. Right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, so today on International Women's Day, we want to celebrate women's achievement. We want to talk about progress made by empowering women. Vice President Kamala Harris, First Lady Michelle Obama, Democratic leader Stacey Abrams, another one of our favorites, Tamika Mallory. The list goes on and on. So, Cheryl, we got to ask you, how do we as Black women remind our sisters to use their voice and power for change as we continue to demand that our Black women leaders always have a seat at the table?
Well, one of the things that I appreciate about what the young people have is they have social media as that immediate connection to people.
Yes.
We had church, we had fax machines, we had phones, but they have an immediate connection with Facebook and Instagram and social media. And the other thing is, Monica and I are members of Black Greek letter sororities.
Right.
Monica, you are a Delta. You're a member of Delta Sigma Theta. I'm a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. And to have Kamala Harris as a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority be the Vice President of the United States, the President of the Senate, I think also we need to look at our community service organizations and our church organizations. And I have to say this, when you're talking about fighting against police brutality, what these young women are doing nowadays is on the backs of what Shirley Chisholm was doing and what those sisters who were members of the Black Panther Party were doing, and people just couldn't understand what was going on, and you make it seem like it was only men marching in the 50s and 60s. It was only men, but there were women who were the founders and the organizers of the Niagara movement that begot the NAACP. And I will say this, I'm gonna throw it to y'all on this one. I bet a lot of people wish they would have made Stacey Abrams the governor of Georgia, but you made a mistake. You made a mistake
so much.
You made a mistake, and you empowered her to save a democracy.
Absolutely.
And now we have Kamala Harris as our vice president. That's still sinking in for me that we actually have a Black woman as vice president of these United States. I mean, I didn't think it would be this soon, but I'm so happy it is.
I didn't think we would have a Black woman as the vice president of the United States before a white woman.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Vice president of the United States. You're absolutely right with what you're saying. And Cheryl, I just, Stacey Abrams, the queen that she
That's
is.
what we call her.
She is the queen. All hail to the queen.
That's
but
right.
Yes, right, Monica. But the movement, movement, we need that. What she did in Georgia recently, what happened with the winter storm and what's going on with the governor with the mask mandate. And we know that he said that as a way to deflect.
Right.
From the catastrophe of his leadership of what happened before.
That's right.
Ain't nobody crazy. Ain't nobody
crazy.
But
You know what?
ahead,
You're
Shirley.
so right. You're so right. And not only that, not only is she brilliant, not only is Stacey Abrams brilliant, and you're right, Cheryl. I do believe that the people in Georgia missed when they didn't make her governor. But God had a plan. God had a plan, and she's still alive, and you don't know. She may come back around and be governor or president. We don't know.
Boom.
But I have to, but I have to say this too. I had the privilege to meet her one day. We were in the same nail salon. Can you believe that? I mean,
Wow.
We were
Really, Shirley?
in the same nail salon one Saturday morning. And I was like, she was walking out, and I was like, oh my God, excuse me, but I'm fangirling. I'm fangirling
Right.
all over. I'm like, you're
Right.
Stacey Abrams. You are
That's
the
right.
smartest woman in the world. I said those words to her.
Yes.
And she was so kind, and for her, just humbled me to see how humble she was, with all this power and this brilliance in her mind. I'm like, I could be looking at the future president right here.
Absolutely.
She was so, it's just kind. I said, would you please take a picture with me? No one's going to believe this. And she said, of course I will. And I just thought that was so great. I didn't tell her who I was, or she didn't care, anything like that. Just a sweet, sweet person. More on this International Women's Day. This is the Steve Harvey Morning Show. The ladies take it over on International Women's Day right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Happy International Women's Day, and yes, it is something to be happy about, and we are happy. The ladies have taken over the show today. We've taken over the mic. We are here, Shirley Strawberry, Carla Ferrell, Sheryl Underwood, and the one and only Mississippi Monica has joined us today. We want to let you know that coming up at the top of the hour, right about 4 minutes after, it's my strawberry letter for today. Do I give up my dreams for my marriage is the subject, okay? Put a pin in that. We're coming back to that. Right now, we've been talking about all kinds of stuff this morning that concern women, like equality, inclusion, inspiration. But right now, it's time to talk about balance of work, marriage, and dating. So, Carla, let's talk about balancing it all, being a wife, mom, having a career. And then Cheryl and Monica, we got to talk about dating and all of that, what it's like to date. Let's talk about the challenges of dating in your career, all right? So, Carla, let's talk about balancing it all, being a wife, being a mom, having a career. So far,
I'm exhausted
so good.
with you listening.
Yeah,
what I am.
Yeah. Let me see. I do okay, but what I really hate, and everyone on the show knows this, is I hate the cooking part. I'm sorry, I do. I don't like. Some people cooking relaxes them, and they like it, and they have to cook for their family and all of that. It does not interest me in the least. Now, do I have guilt about that? Yes, I do. Because of the way, as we talked earlier, of how we were born, how we were raised. We're raised to cook for the man, fix his plate, all that. Now, if somebody else cooks, I will fix the plate.
Oh, that's so
Does that
great
count?
of you. So
Does
big
that
of
count?
You.
Does that count? I might.
Shirley.
I don't, and he doesn't seem to mind. So far, it's been 6 years. He hasn't left me yet. He doesn't seem to mind that I don't cook. But really, I have to be honest, I don't like to cook. I can cook. I don't like it. It's not one of my favorite things to do. And as far as balancing it, that's the main thing that kind of gets me, feeling
off
some
balance.
kind of way. Yeah, some kind of way. Yeah. What about you? And then I'm a mom too of a 24-year-old, and I haven't said this before. Let me get this out. I'm also a grandmother of 2. I've never said that before. I have a little granddaughter, Jade, who's 5, and a grandson, Max, who's 3. They are the love of my life. I love these kids. We'll talk more about that. But yeah, I am a grandmother now.
But how do they eat since you're not cooking nothing?
They got a mother.
No, I'm just saying.
Sheridan
No German
can throw
chocolate
down.
cake. Come on now. Come on, Shirley Strawberry.
Oh, from the grandmother?
Yeah.
Well, if we go, like out and stuff, and they want dessert, then I'll get some and bring it home. But yeah, I'm not cooking.
Okay.
I'm not that.
I'm
not that
She
kind
is
of
killing me.
grandmother. I am not
She's
that kind
killing
of
you,
grandmother.
right?
She's killing me
I
right
think
now.
for me,
Can you
though,
make a sandwich?
No.
Yes, I can do that.
Carla
I can
Ferrell.
order pizza though. Oh, I can
Carla
order pizza,
Ferrell.
girl.
Let me say
Ferrell.
this. I think
No, you didn't, Carla Ferrell. Carla Ferrell. I love you right now. Carla Ferrell went, no, she my girl, but no.
no,
I don't like.
But
to
you know
cook.
what? I
What?
think
Okay, Carla.
I think that we got a lot of women out there that are listening to us this morning, and there's a lot of pressure, with women, especially, if you're married. I have a young kid. I have a 13-year-old kid. So not cooking is not an option, Shirley Strawberry. But, it's the cooking. It's the helping with the homework. It's being a wife.
Yeah.
It's taking her to cheer practice, dance practice, doctor's appointments, dentist appointments. It's all of these things trying to balance it all. And I think there is the pressure of the perfection
Yes.
that you can do it all, that I can do it all. And the pressure
look
comes
good
from
while
myself.
doing it. Look good
look
while
good
doing
while
it.
doing it.
That's
a good
pressure,
point,
too.
Shirley.
That's pressure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And I
pressure.
think we put that pressure on ourselves sometimes.
We do.
And you know, I'm that type of mom or that type of wife. If I say do this or do that, and they don't do it the way I want them to do it, and I just do it myself. But then I don't want to be that woman or that mom or that wife that turns around and then puts the guilt on them. I do everything. Well, you said, you know, you can do it. So it's a lot of pressure. It's a juggling act for sure. But go ahead.
Here's the question. Well, first of all, when I was married, my husband was a chef. And he was in full service in the Air Force. He was full service in the Air Force, and he went to Kendall College. He went to Kendall College right up in Evanston. And so but I knew how to make spaghetti and pork chops and, you know, things
I do
that I
too.
could.
What's your point?
But my point was, on my mother's side, my mother and my additional mother, because I don't have no stepmama. I have two mothers that God gave me. They were both entrepreneurs. They were both strong women, and they held it down in the house and at the church. But what I've learned is sometimes you got to let somebody come in and assist. You are not.
I got that
than.
too.
Oh, yes.
I ain't mad at that.
But I mean, like if your husband is good on the grill, then he is the cook, and you got the potato salad, right?
Right. You got the
you see what I'm
sides.
saying? Or
Right.
if I'm a boss out in these streets, I know I got to come home, rattle them sheets a couple of times, and make a sandwich or put some cereal on the bowl to let you know who I am up in this piece. Am I right, Mississippi Monica? Take it, Monica. Take it, Monica.
You know, being single and being in this job, I've traveled so much for work, which is a blessing and a curse because I kind of just got lost in the job. I was having so much fun. This is the best job I've ever had and the longest job I've ever had because it's a family. We are a family, like the spring family.
Fragmented.
Like, we get along, we argue, we fight like sisters. Even when I met Cheryl, we argue and fight like sisters. We just call each other sis. I see in Jackson, Mississippi, it's all love. But sometimes me and Cheryl, but you know, me and Carla be like, me and Shirley, I will ignore her call in a minute, but it's all love. So
Same here.
But as far as dating, I've just kind of pushed that to the wayside. And it's not that I miss anything, but I do kind of sometimes think you all have families, you know. And Cheryl, you've been married. Shirley, you have Sheridan and Carla and Tasha. You know, but sometimes it's like, I have all of that if I want to do that. So I'm okay over here getting to watch TV whenever I want to and, you know, cook when I want to. And,
Monica, I wanted to say to you, because a lot of times people label being single as being lonely.
Right.
You're
You know
alone.
what I mean?
You're alone.
Yes,
not
and this
lonely.
is
Yes.
and I wanted you to speak on that as well.
Yes.
Yeah, because I've been exactly
I'm
where
very,
you are, Monica. Exactly where you are. I've been there.
Absolutely, yes.
Exactly.
And we shop for hours and forget to eat because we were single. So now that you're married, Shirley, where's my shopping partner, you know? But no.
But I was married
seriously,
before.
our
I
own
had
boss-
a long drought, you know, between
A
marriages.
long stretch,
Yeah,
yeah.
a long one. Yeah.
But you single, but you're not lonely, right?
So,
No.
no, and our own boss says I'm the only person he knows that's happy to stay in the house, and I truly am. When you find happiness within yourself, you don't need anyone else, and you should be looking for that in a partner anyway. If you're not happy, you can't be happy in a relationship. Being single, like Carla said, does not equate to loneliness. Like, I have everything I need in my home. I can take care of myself. I just need someone, if they're coming into my life, to complement what I'm doing. I don't need
Absolutely.
a savior. I don't need a sugar daddy. I don't need this or that. You know, my daddy taught me, don't ever call a sugar daddy. You know, call me. So,
Yeah, happiness
I
is
used
a
to
state
say,
of
I
being.
used to say,
Yes.
I'm
It's a
already
state of
happy.
being.
Yeah, I'm already happy. I don't need a man to make me happy. Now, if he wants to make me happier, come on in. But I'm already
Exactly.
happy. I'm not
Just
looking to you.
compliment.
Yeah, I'm not looking to you to make me happy.
Yes.
I'm good. I'm happy. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, but I do believe the success is nothing without someone you love to share it with. Billy D. Williams, and also
I
do.
Mahogany.
I am my own woman. But listen, I know I got some options out there, and I got my eyes on a couple of things, and I got a couple of things in the chamber. But I've been a widow for a long time, but that don't mean it ain't popping over here.
Sometimes we have to get out of our own way. We overthink situations. Sometimes we
Absolutely.
overthink everything.
Yes,
All
I
right,
didn't
we're going to
overthink
come
that.
back. We're going to come back with the strawberry letter. Look at the time. Do I give up my dreams for my marriage? It's the subject. We'll get into it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Happy International Women's Day. The ladies have taken over the mic. Shirley Strawberry, that's me. Carla Ferrell, that's her. Sheryl Underwood, that is her right there. And Mississippi Monica has joined us today. She's come from out of the shadows into the light. I love it, Monica. We're so happy to have you today. And Cheryl, of course, it's always a pleasure. Carla, we ride or die every day. every day. We're here.
Men or women,
pound. Yeah. We go both ways, girl, don't we?
Yes.
All right. I know that sounded crazy. I know. Think on that.
That's very progressive. It's progressive.
Right.
It's
It's International Women's Day. All right, here we go. All right, I got to tell you about this. This is exciting. Coming up, married to medicine and OBGYN Dr. Jackie Walters will be joining us next hour to talk about women's health and wellness, very important to us in our community, but right now, and to all women, of course, right now, we're going to switch gears because it is time for the Strawberry Letter, okay? Time for the Strawberry Letter. If you need advice on relationships, dating, work, sex, parenting, and more, please submit your letter to steveharveyfm.com and click Submit Strawberry Letter. So, Cheryl, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You know how we do it. I'll read it,
Okay.
give my response, and you we'll go to break, come back, you give yours, and we'll wrap this thing up. This is a good one, though, a good one for International Women's Day.
You want me to introduce you?
Yeah, let's do that because I'm glad you wrote in. This could be your letter right here that we're reading live. Go ahead, Carla. Do your thing, girl.
All right, here we go. Buckle up and hold on tight. It's time for the Strawberry Letter. We're Shirley Strawberry and Sheryl Underwood. I love it.
Thank you, girl. Thank you. International
You're so
Women's
very
Day. Subject, do I give up my dreams for my marriage? Dear Steve and Shirley, I worked from home as a corporate sales leader for 5 years. In February, I quit my job to do a podcast with two of my best girlfriends. Let me give you a little backstory. My husband and I met in college and got married when we were 24 and started a family. We had our first child when we were 25 and our second child on my 27th birthday. I have a degree in mass communications and I've always wanted a radio job, which is why I want your advice. My husband was always pushing me to work towards my goals, but he reminded me that I had two small children that need me. He has excelled in his real estate company, and he coaches a Little League football team for our county. We're now 30 years old, and I'm ready to pursue my dreams of connecting with an audience. So I got my girlfriends, and we decided to start a podcast. My husband was supportive until he realized I would be away from the home 2 days a week. The ladies and I had a photo shoot one Saturday, and it took 6 hours. My husband was irritated when I got home because he had the children all day, and he had to run errands with them. I deal with that all the time, so I tuned out his complaining. We record the podcast in a studio on Tuesday and Thursday evenings, so I'm usually gone most of the day to get ready for the show, and my husband has the kids. After only 2 short weeks of me leaving him with the kids, he decided that we needed to set up a home studio for my podcast. I told him that I don't want to do the podcast at home. I love getting a break and the opportunity to work in peace and quiet. There's so much tension at home now. Do I give up my dreams for my marriage? Now, what do you think we're going to say, sis? Okay? Especially on International Women's Day. Absolutely not. Okay? That would be a big fat no. Do not do that. Don't give up your dreams for anyone. And don't let the fact that you have kids stop you. I mean, Carla and I have kids. Women do it all the time. Every time. All the time. You know, it has to do with organization and how you juggle and your support system, all that. You can do this, okay? You've already done it. You can do it. Like I said, women do it all the time. And I was a single parent after my separation and my divorce. I was a single parent. So, you know, you got to juggle. You can do it. I just had help. All right? I had help. Your kids. need to see you. They need to see you working. They need to see you passionate about what you're doing, about life, your career. Your husband is trying to guilt you, okay, into doing it how he wants you to do it, okay? Do a studio at home. Yeah, a lot of people do podcasts at home, but you stated in the letter, you don't want to do that. You want to get out the house. And guess what? This is only for 2 days a week, Tuesday and Thursday. He can't stay with the kids 2 days a week. These are his kids too. What the heck is he talking about here? I don't understand. He needs to do his part. That means taking care of the kids 2 days a week. What is that? And they're his offspring. All right. This shouldn't be a problem because he's doing so well at his real estate business. You said that, right? So if there's a problem, perhaps, he can call in help or something. Speak up for yourself. That's what I say. Find your voice. Let your voice be heard in this marriage, okay? I hate it when people do this to each other. I hate it when they get jealous or they get intimidated or I don't like that. So, you guys can work these things out. Just speak up for yourself, Cheryl. Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to need a whole nother break, and I'm going to need some backup. Carla Ferrell, Mrs. Monica, I'm going to need y'all in this because what I'm going to say in the next break, it's all about your husband. You need to... I'm trying not to cuss, Carla. Wait till the other side of the break.
We're used to it, Cheryl. We're used to it, girl. What happened?
It is International Women's Day. Oh, I had to mute myself because what I'm going to say on the other side of the break. And I'm going to need backup because women are now yelling at their radio right now going, say that. We are going to all say that and empower this woman. It's your husband. Ooh, I'm sorry.
All right, Cheryl, hold that thought, okay? We're going to get to part 2 of this Strawberry letter with Sheryl Underwood's response at 23 minutes after the hour. The subject, do I give up my dreams for my marriage? We'll get back into it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, come on. We're going to recap the letter quickly. Cheryl, the subject is, do I give up my dreams for my marriage? A young lady wrote in. She's 30 now. She wants to do a podcast, but she has 2 kids, and she does a podcast two times a week. She has a husband who's been with her all this time. They met in college and everything. He gets upset and irritated when she goes out to do her job, her podcast, because he doesn't like staying with his kids. So he wants her to bring a studio, to build a studio in their home so she won't have to leave. That's one of the reasons she's leaving, because she wants a break. 2 days a week. There are 7 days in a week. The other 5 days, she's got the kids, sir. So anyway, that's pretty much the gist of this letter, Cheryl. So you say what?
She's a hostage. Get out as fast as you can. You're a hostage. Them your kids. Them that dude kids. Put them kids right in his lap. Peas and carrots, everything. And let him see. Because, see, he been out slaying dragons. He been out doing real estate and everything. And she been holding it down. And he wants to keep her there. She has dreams. Yeah. You can have a happy marriage and have dreams. And I want to know, was he like that in college? Because some of us, we go out for that happily ever after. And we married a dude, and he doesn't evolve, but we have evolved, and we ready to do some more things. But you want me to stay over here and be a hostage? What you mean? A couple of hours with your kids? We went half on a baby. These are your kids. You need to keep these kids. And this podcast, what if my podcast blow up and I'm worth hundreds of millions of dollars? Then you gonna want to come over here and do something with somebody. Sister, let me just tell you something. I know you love him. I know you love it. See, I thought about that, Shirley Strawberry, but I don't believe in divorce. I believe until death do us part. You first, because I ain't going nowhere. I got married in front of my friends. I got half a cake in the freezer. This is not the end of this relationship.
Sometimes, Cheryl.
Oh, listen, you talking to a widow. You talking to somebody that was, you talking about somebody that's a widow. That divorce,
girl.
right over at Callahan's on 71st and Halsted. I know where my husband got laid to rest. Fare you well. I pity the fool. But for this right here, and I want Carla, I want you to come jump in this, and Monica, I want y'all to jump in this, because listen, we love our men. And especially when we meet them young and we have these hopes and these dreams, and they make it seem like I'm going to do this and then you going to go get yours. And then when I go to try to get mine, you make it seem like you done forgot on the snuggle tip what we was talking about over at the Zanzibar in the 15 minutes. Did I say too much? Off Stony Island.
It just came out. It just
It did. Right across the street from Sweet Georgia Brown.
Shout out
right
to the beautiful
Buckingham
city of
Fountain.
Chicago.
But I'm telling you, we all fell for this, where the dude we were talking about what we gonna do together, but really he was talking about what he was gonna do for himself. And then when I've done my part and I want to get out in the world and see about my dreams, and I don't want to lose my family because I love you, and then you show me who you are. Is that the man that I fell in love with? Carla Ferrell, you say what?
Absolutely, Cheryl. I agree with you 100%. I agree with what Shirley is saying 100%. I mean, this woman has a degree in mass communications, and so do I. I have a degree in mass communications. So she went to school for this. This is her passion. This is her dream. And you mean to tell me that she's looking at her husband, her man, as a dream killer? You a dream crusher? We are as one. When we get married, we are as one. Our union are as one. You should be right there with me. I'm right there with you, supporting you. And you should be right there with me, supporting my dreams and supporting your wife and your kids. Like, you doing me a favor. Watching the kids.
Yeah.
These are your kids too. You need to be a part of it. Yeah. These
I got
are your
set up.
children too.
Yeah, I got set up for the okie doke. You lied to me. That's what happened. You lied.
And that's the issue. He should be, but the reality is he's not. He should be. You know, that's what we signed up for. Go ahead, Monica.
What you think, Monica? What you think?
Well, in my situation, I was in a similar situation when I started working with you guys. I was working from home for 6 years, and it was fine with the guy I was dating because I was home during the day, and you know, we could run around and play, and you know, but I had to go to work now, and he's like, "Oh, well, that job is too demanding, and you're there too long," and you know, I'm like, "Okay, but this is what I chose to do." So it's like, you either find you something to do, or you know, we can't see each other. And then, you know, the stress of him always, well, why are you always gone? And why are you dressing? Why are you doing this? And why are you doing that? Now you're traveling. It just fell by the wayside because I lost interest in the constant need for him to control where I was, where I was going, and why I wanted to do that. He was very insecure. And then I was around you guys who are radio icons and, you know, legends, and well, what, you must like this and you must like that. Yes, I do. So, you know, I'm not going to downplay any of that or for, you know, push anything I want to do to the wayside for him. So he finally, he kind of got the clue. And
well, can I say this? Can I say this before we go though? Because I want to say this. I believe in marriage, and I believe if I'm not an asset to my man and my family, then I will remove myself. I think there is some discussion to be had, but he is going to have to understand this is her time now. And if you are really the man that she fell in love and who she married and the father of the children and the head of the household, then be a man and stand by your woman. When she wants to do her dream, because you've been doing your dream and she's been supporting you.
All right. This calls for a part 3, I think, of the Strawberry Letter today. We're going to continue this conversation. Please, this is International. We can do it. We run the mic today, right? This is International Women's Day. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, this kind of sparked a conversation. We were having it before we went to break and off the air as well. It had something to do with the Strawberry Letter. Do I give up my dreams for my marriage? And Cheryl, I think when we left off, you were saying, you were telling her, don't let her husband be a dream killer. These are her dreams. She wants to see them come to fruition. Otherwise, you're living in a nightmare. I'm sorry. If you don't get to live out your dreams and the things you have in your heart, your purpose and all of that, your goals, because someone is trying to hold you down, and the person you would not think that would be doing that, your husband, you're the closest person to you, you know, there's a problem. That's a nightmare. That is a nightmare.
And that's why I call the relationship okie doke, because when we was falling in love, we were talking about all these things we were going to do together, and all these things you agree with, and baby, you can do this, and I'm going to help you do this. Now, I think he even tried to I think he tried to soften it by, okay, we're going to make a studio in the house. But that still ties me to the house. You're
Yes,
not
and
doing
the
it.
She wants to
kids.
get away.
She
Yeah.
wants to get
Yeah.
out of the
And she
house.
deserves that.
And
She deserves
2
that.
days a week out of 7.
Right.
You can't
Right.
handle your kids 2 days a week. That,
I think that
Thank you.
you are so beautiful. Don't you agree? No,
No,
but
Your interpretation.
I mean, let me just say, marriage is work.
Yes.
Marriage is work,
Yes.
but it's a two-way street. My husband is a mortgage loan officer, for Wells Fargo, and he has a very demanding job too. I have a job. I have a very demanding job. So we come together as one,
Right.
as building our empire, our dreams. What do you want? What do you want? And we come together as one to try to pursue our dreams, to grow our empire, to grow our family. What are our long-term goals? What are your short-term goals? So for him, as her king, as her husband, to just basically tell her, no.
Yeah.
That is a serious,
There it
that
is.
is a serious problem, and marriage is about compromise.
right. And let me
And
say
he-
this.
Yeah.
This happens, not to interrupt you, Carla, but this happens way more than we think. Okay, this goes
sure.
on in marriages all the time, all the
Right.
time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And it's always us, the women, who usually take the back seat, and
Yes.
we have that mommy guilt. Every mom has it. We have that
Yes.
guilt. We want to be there for the kids and do what's right for the kids. And like you say, this is a compromise. It's supposed to be a compromise.
That's
with
right.
each person, having the other's back, supporting
That's
each
right.
other and all of that. And that's why I tell her to find her voice and
That's
speak
right.
up. Keep ignoring this man. Don't do it disrespectfully, but do you, boo. Okay?
Them yo
Do
kids.
you.
Them yo kids, too. We
Yes.
went
He
half
can
on a
handle
baby.
it. This is fun, ladies, but we got to switch gears here. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to switch and talk to Dr. Jackie Walters. She's going to be our special guest. We're going to talk about women's health right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, our special guest is an OB/GYN, breast cancer survivor, television personality, and author of The Queen Bee, and she is joining us today. We're so happy that she's here to discuss women's health and all that encompasses. We will also dive into her best-selling book, Queen V, emphasis on the V, if you know what I mean, wink, wink. Please welcome to the show our friend, we love her so much, Dr. Jackie Walters, ladies. Ladies.
Thank you. Oh my God, I'm so honored to sit with these beautiful women. Oh my God.
It is definitely our pleasure, Dr. Jackie.
Thank
It really
you.
is. Thank you for
Thank you.
taking the time. Our health is so important, and especially the health of Black women in our community as we celebrate International Women's Day. We're going to start it off this way, and then we'll get into some health questions, Dr. Jackie. Season 8 of Bravo's hit show, Married to Medicine, where we all first learned about you and met you and everything. Well, that show kicked off last night. This is your 8th season doing the show. You also appeared with Andy Cohen and Kenya Moore on Watch What Happens live on Bravo. Tell us about it. Tell us about season 8. What can we expect?
Now, the truth is, this season is probably the most impactful season ever for me because we got in there. We did COVID testing. We got into the Black Lives Matter movement. We went to the March on Washington and actually did COVID testing there. So this season was like the mission of all missions for me. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was weird because we had to wear masks. We still had the girlfriend drama. You saw what happened when the white coat came off.
That's what we love. Because
that's what we love, Dr. Jackie.
Yes, we love that. We love, that you guys are so professional in the office and you handle your business and you're such strong, intelligent, educated, beautiful women. But then, like you say, when you take those white coats off, okay,
baby.
Let's get down. Yeah.
Yes. And this year I'm caught in between two friends. I love both my friends, Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Simone, and I'm smack dab in the middle of the mess.
Oh, wow. Well,
Oh,
that's
my
a good
God.
place to be.
That's tough.
And only you can handle that. Only you. can handle it.
Okay.
And I know sometimes it takes a toll. It does take a toll when you're dealing with
Yes.
friends, but
Yes.
you are so
Shirley,
real.
I'm sorry, Shirley. They're two totally different personalities. Yeah.
Dr. Heavenly
Yes.
is just crazy. She's just crazy.
Yeah.
So you are a breast cancer survivor, and you've been very open and transparent about your journey with breast cancer. We're all about early detection on this show, so let's talk about that for a moment, Dr. Jackie.
So I'm a
Early
two-time
detection.
breast cancer survivor, and you know my line is your greatest wealth in life is your health, and you have to take care of yourself. I have a whole new campaign that I'm starting because Black women are 42% more likely to die from breast cancer than a Caucasian woman. So my story to every woman in the office is, if we're dying more, we should be doing more. And with that, I'm like, get your mammogram. Let's start very simple. Do a self-breast exam every month. Know your family history. We offer genetic testing in the office now, so you can know if you carry any gene that would predispose you to breast, colon, ovary, pancreatic. So we're telling women, know your family history. Make sure you're doing your self-breast exam. And now I'm about to step on some toes. And you are what you eat. So I'm a big advocate on eating live. If you didn't kill it or grow it, Cheryl,
because I'm finna say I didn't.
You're killing us and Cheryl.
No, because she started with the Cheryl.
She did.
And
She said Cheryl.
Right, she
Yeah,
started
she
with the
did.
Cheryl. And I know my AKA sorrow was not coming over like it was, but I knew what you were saying. I know what you were saying.
Yes.
But you was really talking about Shirley Strawberries. That's who you
Hey, listen, Dr. Jackie, we got to take a quick break here. We're going to come back with more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show on this International Women's Day. Our special guest, the beautiful, the lovely, the talented Dr. Jackie Walters, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, here we are back on this International Women's Day with our Women's Day show, okay? It's all about women today, women's health, everything. We've talked about it all, and it wouldn't be complete without, we're just going to call you our friend, our girlfriend, because we love you like that, Dr. Jackie.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Dr. Jackie Walters, you know her from Married to Medicine. They just premiered season 8 on Bravo last night. She has a book out called The Queen V. We'll get into that as well. When we were leaving, you were talking about you being a 2-time breast cancer survivor, and you the last thing you said was you are what you eat, garbage in, garbage out.
Yes.
Right.
Just encourage every woman, especially women of color, to make sure you're doing your age-appropriate testing. So if you're 40 years old or older, you should be getting a mammogram. Make sure you're going to get that. You should fight for that. You know, screening mammograms are covered under most plans. So please get early detection is your best protection. So I want to tell everybody, you know, chemo, radiation, double mastectomy is not a lot of fun. So if you can catch it early, of course, you can definitely extend your lifespan. So please go get your testing.
And can we do a girlfriend thing where we all take each other, like you got to go get your mammogram, but you're afraid? We should rent a limo, you know, and go take each other to the mammogram and then have salad afterwards.
Now,
Right. Nothing was killed in the making of this salad. That's right.
Right.
All right, Dr. Jackie, we're going to take another quick break. We'll be back. We have more questions for you. We'll be back on the Steve Harvey Morning Show on this International Women's Day right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
We're back with Dr. Jackie Walters, our special guest this morning. This is International Women's Day. We're talking about women's health.
Dr. Jackie Walters, you have been vaccinated, and I had my first round of the vaccination myself. So what is the message for our females out there about getting vaccinated?
Great question.
Again, I'm going to stick with women of color because it's impacting us definitely disproportionately more. We are 2.9 times more likely to die from COVID. So we're telling women, please, if you are a woman of color and you can have your vaccine, please get it. It doesn't matter and you know, the big thing is, do I get Pfizer? Do I get Moderna? Do I get J&J? Get a vaccine.
Right.
I'm telling everybody that, because to watch pregnant women come into the hospital where they can't breathe and they're separated from their baby for a short period of time, or they're very ill and they have to go to ICU, is heartbreaking. So I'm telling everybody, we're ready to get back to norm, but let's please take our time. Get your vaccine. It's not live virus. That's what I want everybody to know. It's not a live virus that you're getting. You're not going to get COVID from getting the vaccination. Yes, you're going to make antibodies. So if COVID, the live virus, enters your body from contact, then your immune system is ready to fight it off. So it's like an army.
Right.
So
Thank you, Dr. Jackie.
I'm begging everybody, get your vaccine. And do you get sick? If you have a really severe immune response, you may feel a little achy or something. Your arm was sore. But I didn't feel anything. I was mad. I wanted my arm to be sore.
My arm was sore, Dr. Jackie, for a day or two, but it was okay. But I wanted Cheryl, you got a question for Dr. Jackie?
Well, I had a question and a comment real quick, but I got a question about my love life, Dr. Jackie, that only you can help me up with Queen V. But we need to make sure it's mobile and people know where they can get the vaccine, because people don't have transportation to get it. But I'm glad you shouting that out. But Dr. Jackie, I have a love question. I have a workplace romance with Junior, and we will be married. Okay. And I want to keep the excitement in our marriage. I want to take the passion that we have in our courtship all the way through to our marriage. So besides having sex, what are good ways to connect with your partner, especially during this time, because we're still in the pandemic, and I want to send my expression of passion and sex and hot monkey love to Junior. What would you recommend, knowing that you are the Queen
We
V?
get it, Cheryl.
What? Okay. Speak to me, Queen V.
If you are not living in the house with your partner, I would encourage you guys to both get tested frequently.
Dr. Jackie, thank you. We know you have patients to get to. You have a full day of work today, and we just love you, and thank you so much for taking the time. And happy International Women's Day to you.
And thank you, and same thing to you guys. We'll see you, Cheryl.
Okay. Thank you, my AKA Sarah.
All right, guys, coming up at 49 minutes after the hour, we'll have some Tell Me Something good news for you. And don't forget, this is International Women's Day right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Wow. We're at the end of the day already for this show.
We
had so much fun.
I know.
That's the saying. When you're having fun. That's as the saying goes. Yeah. And we're going to end on this note, guys. It's time for Tell Me Something Good News. Chaka Khan, Idina Menzel, remake I'm Every Woman with humanitarian organization CARE to celebrate International Women's Day. Of course, Chaka is an icon. Idina Menzel, we know her from the Frozen movies, and she's just got an amazing voice. Well, this song is part of CARE's hashtag I'm Every Woman International Women's Day campaign, which celebrates the strength, resilience, and leadership of women around the world throughout the month of March, and helps CARE distribute care packages to women and girls around the world. Here's a little snippet. You hear it in the background. Take a listen.
You know what? And that's the perfect, it's the perfect song at the perfect time. And I got to shout out my Sarah of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, Chaka Khan. That's right. Chaka Khan is a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. So I'm proud that this is happening. This is a really great song at a really great time. Don't you think, Monica?
That's right.
Absolutely, and I want to shout out my Sarah Mayor, Keisha Lance Bottoms of the great city of Atlanta. She had a rough weekend in Atlanta.
The NBA All-Star.
We holding it together. Yes, they had the All-Star weekend in Atlanta, and Mayor Bottoms said, "Don't come here." They came anyway, but we dealt with it. We're gonna make it.
We're going to be strong in the struggle. Let me tell you what Chaka Khan said in a statement. She said, "I'm so thrilled to be a part of this hopeful celebration of strength for International Women's Day. Our version of I'm Every Woman is a beautiful recognition of the power in every woman, especially the heroes on the front lines who have been working tirelessly this past year to keep us safe and healthy. You can watch the hashtag I'm Every Woman music video on care.org/everywoman. Wow.
Yes.
That's cool.
I like
That's
that.
cool.
Profound,
That's
Chaka
cool.
Khan. Thank
That's
you,
cool.
Idina Menzel.
Zeta
Thank
Phi
you.
Beta. That's right. Were we gonna shout out the vaccine? When we were earlier, we were talking about the vaccine. What's the doctor name?
Dr. Corbin?
Kismikia?
Yes.
Corpus? Yeah, Dr.
Yes, that's her sister. That's her
yes,
sister.
it is. Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was fun today.
You had a good time, Cheryl.
And I am telling you.
Not Jennifer Holiday.
We got to get out of
I'm
here,
not
girl.
Going. Oh, we got to go. Okay, I got to go then. Don't
and
forget to
Monica,
watch the talk.
Oh yes, the talk.
Yes.
And Monica,
This
we
was
have
fun,
to meet like
ladies,
this
but
more
I
often.
like being behind the scenes. So I give you all kudos for doing this daily. I just like to smile and watch y'all.
You did a great job.
You did a great
Yes,
job.
you did a great job, Monica. Thank you so much. And Cheryl, you're right. You will be on the talk today. You don't want to miss Cheryl on the talk. And of course, Cheryl is with us every Thursday.
Yes.
Every Thursday,
Well,
right
really,
here.
I'm
every
with
Thursday
Junior,
morning.
and you guys are a part of it.
Yeah, when you're with someone,
world, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Today we had the sign on the door that said "No boys allowed." Right?
Absolutely.
No
Absolutely.
boys.
No stinky
No
boys.
boys allowed. Yes.
When
Yeah,
the boys
so-
are back in town. But
Yeah.
okay, I got
So
I got
Cheryl-
a question. Oh, okay, you
Oh,
go
okay.
first. You go first, Shirley, because you know
Well, I
how
was
we
going to
talk.
ask you. I was going to ask you. Did you learn anything today?
You know what I learned? I learned when powerful women come together, we do powerful things. I learned that this might have to be a second show, maybe on a weekend or something. We just get together. And I do understand the power of radio. That's why we have something called BlackRadioSolidarity.com, where we talk about businesses, we talk about vaccinations and things like that. We have to use the power, especially of Black radio, to advance certain causes. If we can sell product, if we can sell culture, then we can save a democracy. And we did all of those things through the power of Black radio and Black media. So I'm thanking you all for allowing me to be part of this with you ladies today. And I love being part of the Steve Harvey Morning Show family. I love being part of the family.
We love you.
Well, Cheryl, like we
Cheryl.
said, we wouldn't do it without you. We couldn't see ourselves doing it without you, right?
We should have a political roundtable because there's so much we need to talk about. Like we need to talk about how Trump need to never come back and do anything. We need to lay that, lay the dirt on him.
Absolutely.
Amen.
And more than that, next year we have to get ready for
the
another
midterms.
election for the midterms.
That's
Yeah,
right.
This never stops. I mean, we did what we had to do for this past election last year, but they're always going to keep coming. So we always have to know what's going on. We cannot rest on our laurels. All right, this is a fight, and we are in it to win it for sure. You know.
And I just
Yeah.
want to say
What did
thank
you
you to Shirley and Carla for taking me in as the prodigal child and teaching me everything I need to know. And it's still so much more to know. And they've just been patient and just forgiving of all of my little radio mistakes. And I just love these girls. I love you too, Cheryl, because I've learned so much from you as well. Your professionalism.
Thank you.
I'm just among a great group of ladies, and I really appreciate you all.
But you know what? Before I go, I could not have done anything that I'm doing if I had not been here. Because I learned from you ladies, and then when I put together certain things, podcasts and things like that, you know, I'm looking at who are my trailblazers in radio, and it's you ladies right here. But Monica, what I need to know, where were we? Remember that one time we was in Jackson and we had such a good time, and why do the mayor of Jackson look like Drake? What's happening? Girl power.
All right. We want to thank you all. Happy International Women's Day.
Yes.
Love on women, okay? Because we certainly
Empower
love you.
each other.
Empower
That's
each
right.
other. Love on each other. Don't hate, okay? That's
And
so
can I add
old.
this,
Yes.
Cheryl?
What?
And let's empower our future women, our
Yes,
young
little girls.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
right,
All
little
about
girls.
that.
Queen.
For sure.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Definitely. Our
Princesses and young
daughters. Our,
queens.
Yes.
Everyone. Everyone.
Yes.
Thank you guys. We love
Yeah,
you.
bye.
No boys allowed today.
No boys.
Stinky boys.
He-Man Hater Club.
For all Steve Harvey contests, no purchase necessary, void where prohibited. Participants must be legal U.S. residents at least 18 years old unless otherwise stated. For complete contest rules, visit SteveHarveyFM.com.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.